Good evening, and welcome, welcome. Tonight we've got a great show for you. We are going to have such a great time talking to a phenomenal guest. He's super amazing. So come on in, get in where you fit in because I've always got room around my table for you to get in where you fit in. Make sure when you come in, you're tagging your friends, sending them an invite, letting them know that we're here and we're about to have a phenomenal show tonight. Okay, make sure you also start a watch party. That's right. So we can get the word out that we are having a phenomenal guest tonight that's gonna knock your socks off. And we're going to be talking about some amazing topics. So get your pen and get your pad so that you can write this information down. This guest, he's going to give you a wealth of information. So if you want to get in where you fit in, you fit right here. So come on in, come on in. And when you come on in and put a number one in the comment bar below. Let us know that you're here. Come on in, come on in. Put a number one in the comment bar below and let us know you're here. And also let us know where you're from. We want to know where you're from so that we can tell people about you on our news you can use. And we want to know what services you offer as well. Okay, so come on in, come on in. We are so delighted to have you. Hey, we have Angela Elton out of Washington, D.C. She's put a number one in to let us know that she's here. Good to see you, Angie. Thank you for joining us. And those of you that are still coming in, come on in, and get in where you fit in. We want to know where you're from. So go ahead, put down there in the comment below where you're from so that we can let people know who you are, where you're from, and what you do. Always good to see you and have you with us, okay? All right, Peace and Blessings is with us. Number one in the box. Thank you so much. Good to see you. Peace and Blessings, where are you from? Go ahead and put it down in the comment bar below. We want to know, okay? So many of you know that we are dealing with some trying times. And we always need to hear positive people with positive messages come to us and help us to just be the very best that we are and to do the very best that we want to do. So it looks like you are from PA. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in from PA. Good to see you. So back to what I was saying. We want to have excellent people, excellent speakers, excellent writers, excellent broadcasters, movie directors, just entrepreneurs, people who are not entrepreneurs. We want folks with us that's going to be here to help you enhance your life. And so today we're going to talk a little bit about quantum physics. We're going to talk about neuroscience, and we're going to talk about things that's going to help you ignite and take flight. But most importantly, we want to know who you are and where you're from so we can be sure to tell people about you, your business, and what you do in news you can use. Now, a lot of you may have heard about my guest. He's a phenomenal gentleman, and he comes to us with so many accolades going on in his life. He's an international best-selling author. He's got a fantastic book out, and we're going to talk about that book tonight. And some of you may know that he has some wonderful secrets and tips that he's going to share with us and help us help ourselves to be the best version of ourselves that we can be. So come on in, get in where you fit in. And before we bring our guest into the studio, let's go ahead. Make sure you got some good water, you got your notepad, and you got your pen so you can take notes. So come on in, share this broadcast with a friend. Go ahead and share, like, tag your folks, and also start a watch party. We've got Janelle Harris in from Florida. Good to see you all the way from Tampa. All right, Tampa's in the building. Thank you, Janelle. Good to see you. Thank you. I thank you so much telling me I look cute. I appreciate that. We love to look cute. We've got Sean all the way from Ohio. Good to see you, Sean. Good to see you. Thank you so much. Come on in. Make sure you get in where you're fitting. You always fit in around my table. But most importantly, let people know that you're here. Tag a friend and tell them to come on in and start a watch party. Like, tag, and share. So now that we have folks coming on in, I want to share with you tonight my fantastic guest. He is amazing. He is the author of a book. He's also one of the international best-selling authors for the Magnetic Entrepreneur, and he also made Guinness World History. So I've got him right here with me tonight, and you're going to love him because so many other people love him. You're going to love him. So help me. Would you help me welcome Mr. Rodrigo Diaz Mercado? Hey, how you doing?
Hey guys, very good. I'm very happy to be here tonight.
All right, fantastic. I'm very happy to have you. Our audience is already starting to funnel in. So many people coming in. So it's good to see you. Thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you so much. So many people are looking for ways, Rodrigo, I'm sorry, to just do their very best, to be their very best. And you, my dear, are going to grace us tonight with some tips and some secrets on how to do their very best. So for our folks that's coming on in, come on in. And if you haven't, go ahead, tell a friend, share, like, and start a watch party. So Rodrigo, we've got a lot to talk about. So before we get started, let's go ahead and take a sip of some good old water. Nice. All right. So, Rodrigo, I know that you are the phenomenal author of the amazing book, Sleight of Mind. I've seen you on other interviews and you just blew it out the water and you gave so many wonderful tips. Now, Sleight of Mind also talks about how to create and experience magic in your life. So can you tell us a little bit about that book?
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, Sleight of Mind, let me just backtrack it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But Sleight of Mind, actually comes from the concept sleight of hand.
Oh, wow.
Sleight of hand is the ability that a magician has with his hands to manipulate small objects to give you the experience of magic. So wow. Sleight of hand is the innate ability that you and I have to use thoughts and feelings to create magic in our life. And yes, I combine concepts from the fields of spirituality, quantum physics, and neuroscience, because together, poof, magic starts to happen.
Awesome. So I know so many people are coming in and many of you want to know about spirituality. You want to know about quantum physics and you want to know about how it all plays together with neuroscience and how it all works together in your life to help you, one, be the best person that you are created to be, but also how to manifest what you want to manifest, and not in 4 years or 5 years, but in the now. And we're going to talk about that tonight. So, Rodrigo, I know that you talk about the magic of life and the magic of quantum physics. So I know that you used to do a little magic about 7 years ago. So you want to tell us a little bit about the magic and how you bridge that?
Absolutely. So for the last 8 years of my life, I started to learn magic because as a kid, I've always was fascinated, not with necessarily the trick part, but I was fascinated with the impossible becoming possible. And if I present to you guys a magic trick for the first 3 to 5 seconds, you generally are at awe. Wow, what just happened? Your brain and yourself had a break from reality. After those 5 seconds, your analytical brain starts to kick in. How did he do it? He's not going to get me. But I was just so in love with the beautiful feeling of childlike wonder, awe, that I just started to think, is it possible to live our lives in that state of childlike wonder on awe 24/7? So that's a little bit of 7 years ago. Yes, it was all magic to kind of fool my friends. But little by little, there was a transformation inside of me, like maybe magic is real. Maybe magic is all around us. And maybe magic is inside you.
Right. So that's great. I love the way you presented that to us. That's so wonderful and so powerful because there is a level of magic that we all possess. And many of us, I know when I was growing up, I loved to go to the circus. I loved to go to the magic shows. And what I loved best is when the magician was taking the rabbit out of the hat or making the
Yes.
rabbit appear in the hat. Okay, even Steve Harvey talk about, what would the magician do with the rabbit in the hat. So it goes from when we're children to when we're adults. We love the magic, we love the mystic. And those of you that are on here with us, if you loved magic when you were growing up, if you loved magic when you were growing up, go ahead and put a 2 down in the comments below, because tonight is going to be a magical broadcast. So if you liked magic when you were growing up, put a 2 in the broadcast below, or in the screen down below. Okay, put a 2 there. So you did magic for 7 years. That had to be extraordinary. Can you tell us about your adventure with that? What type of magic did you do, and did you work in a show, or what was it?
Yes, absolutely. So it all started with there's a beautiful transition of being a magician and not being a magician. You start in your basement. You're
Yes.
very shy. No one can see what's happening. You're still trying to fumble through some cards. But then I saw a magician once that, so I do close-up magic. Close-up magic is just objects like playing cards,
Yeah.
rings, etc., wallets. But what I love about this magician, I love how he took magic and as an art form. He described it as
Hmm.
an art form. It was not necessarily comedy. It's not necessarily like to trick anyone. It was literally telling you
Right.
that, like an artist, like a painting, takes a piece of paper and it's a two-dimensional thing, and with a brush and some shading, he or she can give you the illusion of a 3D world, right? A
Yes.
painting can give you the illusion of a 3D world. So magic is the same, but one more level. So we take objects in the 3D world to
Hmm.
try to give you the illusion of the fourth dimension, which disappear and appear, that kind of concept. So I fell in love with the concept of, whoa, magic is really just more than tricks for little kids. And I actually used to perform a lot for adults
Uh-huh.
rather than kids, because I think it's easier to fool an adult than it is a
Yes.
kid. Because a
Yes.
kid is just like, he has and nothing is impossible for a kid.
Right.
But
That's true.
an adult has lived a certain years of life
Mhm.
thinking a certain way. So that's what it was a little bit easier to fool an adult. But long
Yes.
story short, at the end, I started to kind of look for principles of magic and how can someone apply it to storytelling. So that's where the shift started to happen. Communications, principles of magic that could someone take and be a better storyteller. So that's
Right.
where the shift happened.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So if you all like what Rodrigo is talking about already, and I know that I like it, and I know that it's powerful, because a lot of times people don't really understand how to manifest the best of who they are in their lives. They don't know how to manifest that, because a lot of times the innocence that we have as children kind of leaves us when we get in the muck and mar of becoming or graduating into adulthood. So we forget that we have magic within us. So if you're here and you like what he's saying, and if you still want some magic in your life to help you manifest what you're trying to manifest, the true you, what you're designed to be, go ahead and put a 3 down below in the comment. Go ahead, put a 3 in the comment down below. And we're going to take a moment to take a quick sip. And we hope that you go ahead and like, share, tag a friend, let them know you're here, and also start a watch party. So let's take a quick sip. That's right. If you like what he's saying and you want more magic in your life to manifest what you want in your life, go ahead and put a 3 down below. And for a quick moment, I'd like to say hello to folks around the world that's joining us. Shakita Mitchell Sume, hey, how you doing? Salute to all our military personnel and those that they support and those that support them. Good to see you. Again, we've got Sean out of Ohio, Janelle out of Tampa, Florida. Good to see you. Good to see you. Go ahead and start a watch party and tag our friends. Let them know you're here. And we also have peace and blessings out of PA. All right, it's so good to see you. So good to see you, Angela, out of Washington, D.C. And I see a bunch more folks coming in. Go ahead and shoot us some thumbs up and some hearts for our algorithm. We want to let people know we are doing it big time right here with Mr. Rodrigo Diaz Mercado. He is here, and we're talking about his book. We're going to be touching on quantum physics. Quantum physics. There it is. There it is. We're going to talk about quantum physics. We are going to talk about your spirituality. We're also going to talk about neuroscience. Okay. So if you are just joining us, we've got a phenomenal person here tonight, a fantastic show. And what I just talked to Rodrigo about was about how he just got involved with writing his book. Okay. And let him know what the name of your book is.
My book is called Sleight of Mind, How to Create and Experience Magic in Your Life.
Okay. And he's been laying down some gems to us right now about how to do that. And he also shared a little tidbit about his journey, that he was a magician for 7 years, and how that kind of bridged over and helped him with his book, Sleight of Mind, to understand quantum physics, neuroscience, and how to manifest things. So, with that being said, if you like what I said, and if you like what he's saying, put a 4 down in the comment below. So that's right. Put a 4 down in the comment below. So Rodrigo, a lot of times people say to me, well, Lotus, your guest, how did you meet him? He's got this phenomenal book. He's like bigger than life. How did you meet him? So you want to tell people how we met?
We broke a world record together. That's how we met.
Yes,
so yes,
we did.
we went to this event where a lot of authors came together to break a World Guinness record, which we did, by the way. So
yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Everyone. You have it there.
Yes, I've got it right here. This is our book. Rodrigo and I co-authored this book along with 124 other authors, because the two of us make 126. And it was the marvelous mind of Mr. Robert J. Moore that brought so many people together. Yes, so make sure you go out and get The Magnetic Entrepreneur. It's a phenomenal book, and you'll see Rodrigo and you'll see me in this book as well.
Yeah, so we were there, and there's a lot of fantastic people, authors, obviously, and we bump into each other. Quick connection, magical connection, of course. And here we are a few months later talking about magic, and thank you for hosting me in your program.
Oh, thank you so much. So when I talked to Rodrigo, we talked and we hit it off really well. And I said to him, you know, I'd love to have you on my show, and I'd like to know kind of your purpose for coming on your show, and what is your purpose for doing what you do. So he kind of shared that with me, and I'd like for you to kind of share your purpose and what you do with our folks here.
Absolutely. Well, it all started with a story that I felt trapped. You know, back a year and a half ago, the person that's right here talking to you did not exist. So I understand what it is to try to look for an answer outside. And I've been doing that for 30-something years.
Yeah.
And I was in a position in my life where my own body, through disease, was telling me that something needed to change. And it was not one, it was multiple at the same time. So my purpose now is helping others to realize they have everything they already inside of themselves to start living their dream life now. Because I was there, and these are the steps, the understanding, and the awakening I had to realize magic is real. Your dream life is right now present, and it's ready for you. So that's a little bit of how the whole journey started, and my purpose is to just help others just connect to that power. Right. Because they might have forgotten I did. And it's okay if you right now are looking for that. I was looking for that too. So now my purpose is to bring love, peace, and that information that helped me with my journey. Okay,
so I heard you say that basically your purpose was to help people.
Correct.
And that's great, because you want to help them start on their journey and have that dream life that they need to have now. But a lot of times people they wonder, how do people get to that? Because a lot of times,
Mhm.
Rodrigo, if you would agree, and I don't know if you will, a lot of times people are not awake to
Correct.
the magic of life, to the magic of quantum physics or neuroscience or spirituality. And sometimes if they're not awake, they don't have a helping hand to get there. And then sometimes people are awake to
Mhm.
it, but they still don't know how to get there. So can you share with us what happened in your life that made you have this awakening?
Absolutely. As I mentioned a little bit just a couple minutes ago,
Mhm.
I had been, and I had it all. Like in the past, beautiful, like great job.
Mhm.
My beautiful wife,
Mhm.
Allison, and
Hi, Allison.
hi, Allison. A beautiful home. So you can say that my life was going good. So
Yes.
why was it that I was not feeling content, happy?
Mhm.
I felt trapped, depressed,
Mhm.
angry, and I didn't know where to look.
Right.
So my body, as I mentioned, had disease that just
Mhm.
started to show up. An example, my appendix burst, right? Have
Mhm.
to be rushed to the hospital. So little things like that that
Mhm.
they start to add up.
Mhm.
Whoa, that was my push to understanding that the answer was not outside. No matter how
Right.
many times I
Right.
can find a new job,
Right. So
the
hold
answer
on
was
one
inside.
second. Hold on one
Yes,
second, because you just said something really, really powerful. You said that your appendix burst. And now my brother,
correct.
that happened to my brother, that happened
Mm,
to good friends of mine. And that's a life-threatening situation where you're
correct.
actually hanging in the balance. So you had this life-changing situation. And then I think I'm hearing you say you started to recognize, wait a minute, there's more to this thing that we call life. And I
Yeah.
gotta, and that was kind of your awakening moment.
It was that, and I'm leaving some of them out. But so it was that, and a
Yes.
month later, someone told me that I had cyst on my thyroid. Then
Yes.
a week later, someone told me I had a disc herniation. So
Mhm.
all these things, one after the other, it's too
Mhm.
much. There's no such thing as coincidence. So I
Right.
had
So,
to take a look at what I
mhm.
was thinking and the
Yes.
way I was feeling.
Right.
So that was the switch. It's like maybe the thought was this: if I
Mhm.
don't take a look at what's inside, maybe I will not be here in 1 year.
Yes.
That was the
So,
thought.
you had this life-threatening situation, as
Mhm.
many people do.
Correct.
And I'm sure our viewers throughout the globe can identify with you on one level or another, because many of us have had life threatening situations, whether it's been in a car accident like Jeff Martinet Jr.,
Mhm.
whether it's been someone like me, I've been in a car accident, almost drowned, just so many different things. Now, many of our viewers can identify with this. So if you can identify with having a life altering moment, go ahead and put a 5 down in the comment below. If you've had a life altering moment and if you can identify with Rodrigo, please put a 5 in the comment below. And if you have any questions, go ahead. You can go ahead and type it in and I will pose your question. He'll see it and he'll answer that. So you've had this life threatening moment. Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
You know, your appendix bursts. This is the time for awakening.
Correct.
So, on that path of awakening, okay, there is something that happened between then and where you are now that bridged the gap to the magic and to manifestation.
Mhm.
Because a lot of us don't really know how to manifest until we have these awakenings. So, can you
Correct.
tell us a little bit about how that awakening helped you to understand the magic of manifesting?
Absolutely. Well, two things. One of them was I understood, and this is the hardest thing to understand for those people that you told me, like maybe some of them are asleep, some of them are awakened, but still kind
Yes.
of don't know how to manifest. The hardest thing we need to understand is that we need to stop being one person,
Mhm.
because the person that's living our dream life
Mhm.
is not the one where we're starting.
Right,
So
right,
I
right.
was I was really open to let go of who I thought Rodrigo was.
Oh, wow.
So that's the neuroscience part, which is
Mhm.
habits. And I'll just give you a little something here. Habits, and this is a little like deep, but your name, your gender, your nationality, your personality are just habits.
Mm-hmm.
Those things, nationality, your name, your age, and your gender, you didn't even choose them. You didn't choose them. So right now you're in this world defending all these things that you think you are. So I wanted to let go of who I thought Rodrigo was.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for saying that, because that's one of the hardest things that people have to do is let go. And we asked our
Mhm.
viewers how many people could identify with having a miraculous event in their life. And we have several people. Hey to Lynette Lachelle. Thank you for putting your 5 in there. And Sean as well. Thank you so much. Shakita put a 4 in. Larry Pace from Live with Larry. Also, he put a 3 in earlier. Thank you so much. And Emma Jeffries, all the way from Tokyo, Japan. Good to see you. Artie Gibson, the famous show host Artie Gibson. It's great to see you. Love you too. And tonight, for you that's just joining in, I have Mr. Rodrigo here. He's the famous author. He's an international best-selling author of, go ahead, show your book there.
Thank you. I am the author of the book Sleight of Mind: How to Create and Experience Magic in Your Life.
Right. And right now, what we're talking about, folks, we are talking about how to create that magic. We're also talking about some things that a lot of us find a challenge with doing to get to the magic. A lot of us don't want to let go. But Rodrigo here was telling us when he had his awakening, he had to understand he had to do what, Rodrigo?
I had to let go of Rodrigo.
Had to let go. And then you also shared with us that we have to understand our habits. So can you, and you just shared that with us. And for some of the folks that just came on, can you share what understanding our habits are? What are they? What are our habits?
That's amazing. It's a great conversation, and I can break it really simply in 3 things. Habits, as we know, your body doesn't need your brain anymore. It can just do it without you thinking, like brushing your teeth, texting, walking, right? So the first level I understood habits in a deeper level is feelings. How, like, what's the most prominent feeling you have during the day? Is it frustration? If it's anxiety? Is it stress? Those are habits too. Our body learns to feel this way, and it doesn't need us anymore. It thinks that's normal, which is not. And the last thing that I was sharing with you is the third level of habits is that your name, your nationality, your gender, even your identity, your name, they're habits too. They were given to you. You didn't choose any of these things. So now we protect it with so much anger, but wait a minute, I didn't pick any of that. So why am I defending something up? So that's understanding those 3 levels of habits changed my life. Oh, we cannot hear you, I don't think.
I got it. So I'm
There.
understanding that in order to understand our habits, okay, we have to understand what the habits are. And he gave us 3 great ones. And he said, first and foremost, habits are done without our thinking. So is it like what people say, Rodrigo, where they say, oh, I got home. I don't know how I got home. I just drove. I was on autopilot.
Absolutely. Perfect.
Okay. So they were doing it without thinking. So our habits, we do it without thinking. Okay. Because there was a study that purported that if we do something a certain amount of times, it becomes a habit. And so we don't have to like tell ourselves, oh, I got to do this. It's like many of you have children out there. Those of you that have children, nieces, nephews, family members that depend on you, put a 6 down below. Put a 6 down below. Let me know who you got depending on you. Who gonna be upset if you don't be there when school get out or when work get out or when church get out to pick them up. And it happens like clockwork. We know, oh, at 2:00 I gotta go pick little Joey up. At 2:00 I gotta go here, or at 3:00 I'm on the schedule for work. I've got to go to work. And so your body kind of shifts into this mode. and you're
Yes.
in work mode or work preparation mode. So I love that you said that. Wow, no, I've never heard that before. So
Mhm.
it's done without thinking. And then you said that our body learns to feel, which is also a habit. It learns to feel. And this
Correct.
is a habit. So can you tell us a little bit more about that before we go to the next one? So
Absolutely.
how does that happen?
So imagine you're in traffic and someone
Mm-hmm.
cuts you off.
Mm-hmm.
What's the first thing you feel? And that's an easy answer. Like anyone can pick that example. If you feel, oh, that guy or that person, how dare does she or he, you're feeling anger.
So you about to cut me off in traffic is what you're saying. Okay, let me. All right, I'm
Pretending it.
driving along. Okay.
Boom.
Oh my God, he's so rude.
Correct. Let's
Okay,
anger.
got it. Right. Okay, got it.
So what came out of you,
Mhm.
what reaction came out of you is
Yeah.
anger. That's a habit.
Right. Right.
Because so through all the work that I've done and I talk about in my book,
Right.
I now let's say someone cuts me. I mean, let's say you cut me off. Again, we're driving. Lotus cuts me off, and now I say thank you because I was able to see you. I
Yes.
could slow down. We're all good. No accidents. Please go to where you need to go. So now out of me comes compassion.
Yes.
So I'm
Mhm.
trying, I have worked on making compassion and love my habit.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. And then you also shared that how we identify is a habit, i.e., our name, our
Mhm.
nationality, our sex, whether we're
Mhm.
male, female, straight, gay, what have you. We
Yeah.
learn to identify that way because it's a habit. So those of you that love what he's saying, I want you to say, I do. Just type I do in the comment below.
Mhm.
Because, and yeah, that's right. Go ahead and share, like, and start a watch party. Let a friend know that you are here. Tag a pal and tell them to come on in because, this is so powerful what you're saying. A lot of people don't realize, I don't think, that, these are habits. Anybody out there ever been in traffic? Like he was
Maybe.
sharing, and somebody cut you off, and the first thing you did, you got upset. I don't know, maybe you beeped your horn, or if somebody was driving close on you, maybe you stomped on the brake. But over time, what I'm hearing, these behaviors, these thought patterns, they develop into habits, which
Correct.
oftentimes are not good habits, and they're habits that kind of take away from us, and we become so connected to those habits, even the connection to our name, to
Mhm.
our race, if you will, to our sex, as it appears. So that's powerful. So can you tell us how you discovered this, really, how you
Mhm.
discovered this, because this is so powerful.
It is. I think it all started with I tried to read as much as I could of what does it mean to
Hmm.
really be in the present
Hmm.
now.
Right.
Because I think there's a lot of conversation of, oh, you gotta be in the present moment, blah, blah. But I generally don't think that people understand what it means to be in the present moment. Being in
Right.
the present moment. So a really quick example that I give on my lectures is being in the present moment would be, let's say, waking up in the morning, and
Right.
right next to in my bed is my wife
Mhm.
Allison. So it would
Mhm.
be waking up in the morning, turning around, and be like, "Whoa, who is that?" That would be being in the present moment. Not, I don't
Yes.
know who you are. I
Mhm.
know the only thing I know is now. It's like, whoa, what are these things? But our brain is a
Yes.
machine. So the second we wake up, it tries to gather information from around. Like,
Mhm.
oh, yesterday I did this. I
Yes.
live in Toronto. I
Mhm.
am from
Mhm.
Mexico. So therefore, our own brain is trying to live in the past. So
Mhm.
today, right now, I'm
Mhm.
living based on information that was created yesterday.
Right. Wow.
Mhm.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So I want to double back right quick. Uh, I've got Jeff Jeff Martinet Jr. on there. Hey, hey, hey. Greg Walker, Jeannie McGarvey. Hey, Keita Brembury, is good to see you. And of course, the radio show host, Katie Lowe, all the way out of Chi-Town. Fantastic. And Artie Gibbons Curry, she said, I do. So good to see you. And good evening to you too, Katie Lowe. It's great to have you on board with us. So, wow, how to be in the present now. A lot of folks don't know how to be in the present. So they miss the magic of being in the present, especially with their significant others, but most importantly, for themselves. Eckhart Tolle did an interview with Oprah Winfrey, and he wrote a book called In the Now. Okay. And when I listened to his broadcast and his conversation with Oprah Winfrey, he talked about the criticality of being in the now. And he suggested that when you wake up in the morning, get in your car, and instead of taking right off for work, okay, just sit for a moment. Just sit and take in the smells of the new car or your car. Just take in the moment. How does the car feel? How do you feel? You're dressed, you smell good, you're looking good, you're about to head out into your day. Stop in the now and take a moment. So what did that now look like to you? Because you said that that we just have to stop, and we have to understand how to get in the now to create magic in our lives. So what did that now look like and feel like to you when you discovered, wait a minute, I got to get in the now?
I think it was a phrase I learned from beautiful Dr. Wayne Dyer.
Yep, love
that he just wrote in his book. Yes. Excuses be gone. Thank you, Dr. Wayne Dyer.
Yes.
So what I've learned from him is that the word inspired means to be in spirit, right?
Yes.
So something beautiful that I've also observed is that imagine a guitar player or any musician, piano, violin, guitar player, when they're about to hit the solo, like the part that they do by themselves, they just close their eyes and they just start like going at it, correct?
Yes.
That was an aha moment. They are not here in this physical world. They're present in the moment, and they're not thinking about who they are, what their gender is, what their nationality is. All they're thinking about, actually, they're not even thinking. They're just being. They are being something in that moment. So that was the inspiration. So for me, the inspiration was like, okay, I got to go back to remembering when I was a kid, what was I inspired to do? When do I feel my best? Like drawing, doing magic for others, or talking about these things.
Yes. So let me ask you this, because and I love what you said about the word inspire. It means to be in spirit, and a lot of us follow singers, we follow writers, we follow actors, actresses, and we follow our favorite sports team. And I remember several years ago, I think it was back in the 90s, when Michael Jordan, he was playing in the championship, and he got down to, I think, one of the final games, and he was at half court. And many of you may know what I'm talking about. If you know what I'm talking about, put MJ in the banner below, or in the comment, put MJ, because I'm about to say it. MJ got to half court, and shot a buzzer beater, and they continued their dynasty. They won. Okay. So when many people looked at that, he was in what we call in spirit, or what we may call he was in flow. And a lot of times people don't get to being in flow. But we have one comment, and it's from Jeff Martinet Jr. And Jeff Martinet Jr. wants to ask you, how can you break those habits that we talked about? And some of the
Mm.
habits that we
Yes.
talked about, let's go ahead and put them back on the screen so people um, understand what we're talking about. Okay. So habits, and we're going to go right to understanding your habits. Habits is what we think and do without thinking. And habits, is um, things that our body learns to feel. Okay, over time, like we can get angry when someone cuts us off in traffic, and even how we identify, like our name, our nationality, our religion, or what have you,
Mhm.
our sexual orientation, or what have you. That is the habit. So going back to what Jeff said, let's take Jeff's question right quick. So Jeff said, how can we break those habits?
Yeah, Jeff, thank you. Absolutely fantastic question. That's the question that got me on this journey. The thing I can share here right now is that it's a process, it's a three-step process, if you will.
Mhm.
The first step would be writing who you think Jeff is. I wrote on a piece of paper what I thought Rodrigo was, right? And we know this because even from childhood, you can go to your parent or a sibling or someone that knows you from childhood, and they will tell you, "Oh, you were funny, you ate a lot, you were pretty big." So they already have all these habits of who they think you are. So
Mm-hmm.
I just wrote them down. Rodrigo is this, Rodrigo is that, he likes this, he doesn't like that. Once I took a look at that list, I could see, so I separated from who I am and who I thought I was. And I started to now understand what it means to be in the present moment.
Mm-hmm.
In the present moment, only happiness exists. Anger doesn't exist because you're angry about something that happened in the past, right? If you're truly in the present moment, you could not be angry. You're only angry because you're remembering someone did something or something happened. Or if you're stressed or anxious, it's because you're thinking of the future.
Right.
You're not in the now. So that is the second process.
Mm-hmm.
Stand in the now. And the
Mm.
third one, which is the most beautiful process of it all, write down who you now want to be. Rodrigo is happy all the time. Abundance flows into my life. I am healthy. I love my life.
Mm-hmm.
So once you really write who you want to be and who you strive to be, you look at that list every morning. I give myself 30 minutes.
Mm.
I started to wake up at 5 in the morning. And I give myself, I look at that list and I started to, how does happiness feels like? How does abundance feels like? And I sat with my feelings, trying to feel the new Rodrigo I want to be
Mm-hmm.
over and over again, every morning for 6 months.
Right. So I hope that um that helped you all. I love how you broke that down because habits are really hard to overcome, especially negative habits that we have about ourselves.
Mhm.
So go ahead. If you don't have your pen and your paper, go ahead, get your pen and paper. Now is the time to take this down. And I'm going to go over it. And for some of you that are just coming in, come on in, come on in. We are answering a question with the phenomenal Rodrigo Diaz Mercado. He is talking some great stuff. We are talking about physics. We are talking about neuroscience. We are talking about spirituality. But most importantly, we are talking about how to help you break some habits because we're answering a question from Jeff Markinet Jr. He asked, how can you break those habits that we need to break away from in order to create the magic in our life? And the first thing that Rodrigo said was this. Can you share that again?
Yes, is you take a piece of paper, and that's what I did,
Mm-hmm.
and wrote everything about me, who I thought I was at that moment. I get angry because people say this. I don't like this kind of food. People think I'm funny. People think I'm angry. So write everything. Be honest with you. This is not a test. This is a personal
Ha
thing, right?
ha. So I like that, and I'm happy we revisited this because you said something now that you didn't share at
Mhm.
first. So I'm gonna put it in there because we find that this is a hard thing to do.
Mhm.
Okay. Let me put this in here. Here we go. Write it down, but be honest. A lot of
Correct.
times we want to live a different life. We want to live a life of fairy tale, but we don't be honest. And then the second thing you shared with us was what?
Stand in the now. And the simplest way I can help you, and I understood it, was this. If I'm feeling angry
Mm-hmm.
or sad or depressed, is because I'm thinking of something that happened. So I am in the past.
Right, right.
And if I'm feeling stressed or
Mm-hmm.
anxious,
Mm-hmm.
is because I'm thinking of something in the future.
Right, right.
Because the present moment, right now, Lotus, right now I'm talking to you, I
Mm-hmm.
can only feel happiness.
Yes.
In the present moment, there's only love, joy, and peace.
Yes. And I love what Ruth Verby said. Hey Ruth,
Mm.
we're happy to see you here today. Ruth Verby, phenomenal writer,
Mhm.
trainer, speaker. Ruth Verby said that being honest, it's not a test. So that's great. It's not a test. It's something that we must do. We have to do. And Ruth, we love you too. We love you
Mhm.
too. We appreciate it. She says she loves
Yes.
you both. And Artie, thank you for putting MJ so she knows exactly what we're talking about.
Sure.
So Greg Walker, the big dreamer out of Ohio. Good, good, good. Thank you. Good to see you. Good to see you. So I love the fact that you talk. You're telling us one of the main things is to stand in the now and to be honest. And I love that Ruth Verby said it's not a test, being honest. It's something that we've got to do. And then the third thing, can you share that with us again?
Yes, the third thing is your wonderful human imagination. So what I did, and that's the magic, really. What I did is I grabbed a piece of paper and I sat down and I imagined,
Mhm.
what is this wonderful Rodrigo look like? So
Yes.
I wrote step by step. He feels abundance,
Yes.
love, healthy, happy. Wealth comes from every place. My relationship with my wife is perfect. I travel the world. So I made a
Yes.
thorough list,
Mhm.
not standing from ego, but standing from happiness of
Yes.
what this person looks like. And I sat there every morning for 6 months, and actually I still do it. I shouldn't lie, but it was the process where I noticed a shift was after like weeks. So you don't have to wait 6 months. When you do this truly, I look at my list and I started to imagine with closing my eyes, what does this person do every day? What does it feel to be that person right now? So through my imagination, I connected with those feelings.
Yes. So thank you for sharing that. That's super powerful. And let me tell you, we've got the millionaire doctor on the line with us right now. We've got Dexter Sadler on, and Dexter Sadler said that is good stuff here. So if those of you think this is good stuff, go
Mm.
ahead and put good stuff down in the comment. Go ahead and put good stuff down in the comment while I share this book with you. Napoleon Hill, The Think and Grow Rich, just mastermind, he talks about something that Rodrigo just said, and he talked about imagination. Imagination. We have to imagine. We have to imagine what we want to be, do, how we want to live. And Artie said it's good stuff, good stuff. And Janelle said this is interesting. So
Thank you,
thank you. If
Janelle.
you think this is good stuff, if you think this is interesting, go ahead and put it down below. Ruth Verby says this is good stuff. So thank you so much, Ruth. Thank you so much. Janelle, good stuff all the way from Tampa. Thank you so much, Janelle. We appreciate you. So, with that being said, with understanding that we have to take our imagination, put our imagination to work, and then you said something that I thought was very profound too, is that you take about 30 minutes because this
Correct.
takes time. We have to
Mhm.
take time with ourselves. We have to be honest. We have to stand in the now. We have to use our imagination, and we have to speak it. I put speak it in there
Mhm.
because I think it's really profound that the Bible even talks about the tongue is the leverage of the life and death, right? So we have to speak into life what we want. And I love that you said you take at least 30 minutes. So this isn't something that happens overnight. This is
Mhm.
something that Rodrigo has worked on. This is something that he has trained himself to do, and he can train you. But it takes time. At least, at a minimum, 30 minutes in the morning to envision, to imagine what you want, because imagination is like
Mm.
so powerful. It's
And
powerful.
can and can I just tell our audience, because I don't want them to think that I do this because like I'm an expert. The
Yes.
first time I closed my eyes, I
Mhm,
only closed them for 30 seconds. I
mhm.
couldn't. So if you find that, that's okay. It's all part of the process. And then the
Right.
next week, I closed it for 2 minutes. I remember like, oh, whoa, how long's it been? It's only been 2 minutes.
Mhm.
So I built up to half an hour, 45 minutes. So
Awesome.
be patient. Unconditional love to you.
Be patient. Patient. So patience is the key. Patience
Correct.
is the key to making the type of change. And I know it's a lot of different things, but like you said, we have to be patient because a lot of people want to change their life and they want to do it like in a split second, but you didn't get to where you are today overnight. So, Rodrigo, I know you're like what 21 or something like that.
Something like that. Mhm.
So it took you some time to get
Correct.
there. So you had to be patient. Now, I want to go to the comments. So I'm going to invite you to go ahead, everybody, go ahead and take a sip of your great water because we've got a
Mm.
question. And I want to take that question. This question is coming out of Ohio. Okay.
Mhm.
And it's from Jeff Markinet Jr. He said, "You said that we wouldn't recognize things if we blood." I think he's saying if we be completely in the
Right.
moment. So
Mhm.
how are we supposed to live in the moment? And Jeff,
Right.
if I didn't read that exactly as you wanted it, please correct that so we'll know. But what we're going to do is answer the question as we perceive it is being
Mhm.
asked. So go ahead. Would you tackle that question for us?
Absolutely. Thanks, Jeff, for the interaction. This is amazing. So I honor you. I appreciate you. So it's not that we have a brain that its principal function is to store information.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, we're not going to get away with not recognizing things.
Right.
So the fact is that our body, which is part of our spiritual being,
Right.
is going to recognize things. So how are we supposed to be in the moment? With practice,
Mm-hmm.
what you do
Mm-hmm.
is you recognize, is right now, is this
Mm-hmm.
making me feel happy?
Right.
You keep it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're making me feel sad, you cannot give it your attention. So your attention is your superpower. Whatever you give your attention to
Right.
expands. So you want to give attention to the government not being great, it will expand. But you want to give attention to Lotus has a beautiful program where she brings people that want to help you, and love is in the air, then that expands. So we're
Yes.
supposed to live in the moment by putting attention to what really matters: happiness, love, peace, and joy. The rest is just an illusion.
All right, fantastic, and thank you so much. And I hope that we answered that for you, Jeff. I did see where you said that I did say it correctly. We posed the proper question so that you could get a proper answer. So thank you so much for that. And Dexter Sadler, the millionaire doctor, he says your imagination is a preview of what could be. So what are
Mhm.
your thoughts on that?
Your imagination is a spiritual thing. Let me tell you that. So, your
Yes.
imagination, and Wendy has a beautiful quote that you were not given the power of imagination,
Yes.
without being given the power of creation. So we are in this planet to imagine first everything you see around you, the computer we're using, the internet, the car, the cell phone, my headphones, everything in this world existed first in the invisible world, in someone's imagination. Now it's here. Now it's visible. From invisible to visible. Even the idea of you or me started in our parents' imagination. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe not. But imagination, it is a preview of what could be, but is your tool to make it happen. That's the key. And imagination, just to close the thought,
Mm-hmm.
is not thinking of. Imagination is thinking from.
Mm-hmm.
What would it feel like if the thing I want, it would be here right now? What would it
Right.
feel like if I already have it? That's the key.
So I love what you said. Um, as you probably know, Dr. Wayne Dyer, he is one of my favorites.
Mm.
And I really like the way you said what you said. You are not given the power of imagination without the power of creation. That's
Correct.
super powerful. And if you guys like that, go ahead and write that down. Go ahead and use that. When people tell you
Mhm.
that they don't think that they don't think that they can, let them know that Dr. Wayne Dyer, along with Rodrigo, said that. Go ahead, you tell them again. I love the way you say it.
You're not given the power of imagination without also being given the power of creation. And the
Awesome.
best example I can give you guys, every morning when you wake up, you are imagining your day ahead. And
Awesome.
that's exactly what you're experiencing. If you're thinking of imagining, oh, work's going to be hard,
Mhm.
work's going to be hard.
It's going to be hard. Yeah, because
Imagination,
where your energy goes, what? Your attention
energy
goes,
flows.
your energy
Yeah.
flows. Exactly.
Right.
So we are at the top of the hour and we have had
Mm.
a phenomenal time. Rodrigo, I just love that you were here with us and you've given us some great value, some awesome nuggets. And if you like what he shared with us tonight, go ahead and put I like, or just the word like. Put like down in the comment below. Put like down in the comment below. And don't forget to go ahead and share, tag your friends, and start a watch party because this information is phenomenal. And thank you so much, Ruth Burby, for saying imagination is huge. And you are so right. Jeff Martinet Jr. said, where your attention
Mhm.
goes, energy flows. We know that is unequivocal. And thank you so much for Angela Elting just being there and showing up. Thank you so much. And Angie put a like down below.
Thank you.
Ruth put a like down below and another like down below. So thank you so much. Everybody's putting likes. And some of you, I may not be able to see you, but go ahead and send me some thumbs up, some hearts. Let's get that algorithm working. Okay. And I wanted to share with you, many of you have seen um, the book. You've seen the book. He showed you the book. But I want to tell you, go to Amazon and get the book. It will knock your socks off. Okay, so I'm gonna go and try to share this with you. Okay, the book is right here. It's on Amazon. You can't beat it. It's 19.99. It's here. I'm going to give the link to you too. I'm going to show you the link, but you can get the book right on Amazon. Very affordable book. And you can also get it on Kindle. It's $9.99 on Kindle. So make sure you drop in and drop by and go ahead and pick that book up. The Sleight of Mind, How to Create and Experience Magic in Your Life. Because Rodrigo bought us
Mhm.
some magic tonight. He talked to us about quantum physics. He talked to us about neuroscience and how it all plays together in the magic of your life. So I want to thank each and every one of you for stopping by. And if you want an autographed copy of the book, if you want an autographed copy of the book, we might be able to work that out. But before we go, we're going to go ahead and ask Rodrigo for 3 wonderful, amazing tips that will help us move forward in this trying time, that can help us help ourselves be the best version of ourselves that we can possibly be. So here we
Yes.
go with the tips. What do you got?
Thank you. So the last thing that is beautiful about magic
Mhm.
is when I discovered magic as magic tricks, I discovered three things that now replace the word magic with miracles. If you want to experience miracles in your
Ah,
life, yes, these are the three things I've discovered. First, magic or miracles happen in the present moment. We talked about that a little bit.
yes.
Be here, be now. If I'm feeling stressed or anxiety, I'm in the future. If I'm feeling sad or depressed, I'm in the past. If I'm now, I choose what to feel.
Wow.
Okay.
So wait, if you're feeling sad or depressed,
Mhm. I
that's
am
where
in my past,
ah,
right? Because if you're feeling angry, sad, or depressed, I'm thinking about something that happened yesterday or a year ago or 6 months ago,
mm,
and my energy is going there. I'm feeling sad. I'm not here, I'm there.
right. Okay, wow. And a lot
Mhm.
of people live in the past. Awesome.
Absolutely.
Okay, fantastic.
And if I feel stress,
Mhm,
anxiety,
mhm.
I'm in the future because I'm thinking about something that hasn't happened yet. How am I going to pay the bills?
Oh
What is
wow.
my boss? What is my boss going to say? Oh, I have this huge meeting on Friday. Well, that's in the future. Worry when you're there. Right now, you're here.
Wow. So if people are in the future,
Mhm.
um, do they actually attract more stress and more anxiety when they're focusing on, oh my God, I got to pay this bill. Oh, I got to do this. I got
Mhm.
to do that. Do they draw more of that to themselves?
Absolutely, because your imagination, right? You're imagining that
Mhm.
future.
Wow.
So you're whatever you're imagining, you're giving energy to. It's making you bigger. Every thought you give to it expands. So
Wow.
yes.
So it's important to stay in the now because when we're feeling sad, angry, or depressed, we got to remember we're in the past. That's powerful. And if we're feeling anxious or feeling stressed, we're moving into the future. We're creating a future that hasn't yet come. So it's
Mhm.
so important to be in the now because what we create in the now, like you said, we have to stand in the now. Then when
Mhm.
we stand in the now, guess what? We can do so much more. And I love it. I want to say hey to everybody again and thank you so much. We have Angie. Thanks, Angie, for putting this up here for us. I'm gonna show them your book. This is where you can go to get his book. And can you tell us a little more about what you have coming up? We're 3 minutes after the top of the hour, and I want to thank you so much for sitting down and answering all the
Absolutely.
questions. We've had so many questions and so many comments, so thank you. So,
Mm.
can you tell us what you have coming up as far as events, future books, anything like
Yes.
that? And how can people reach out to you? If you would, you can type it in the chat right there, and I'll go ahead and I'll bring that over. How people can reach out to you if they want to bring you on their show, if they want you to come in as a speaker, or even to do a book review and or book signing.
Yes, that's thank you. I appreciate that.
So
So yes, I am
while,
working on
while
a
he's
few pro.
in, I'm going to let you know a couple of the ways that you can reach out to him. You can go right to Facebook and check him out. Go ahead and send him a friend request, and he'll be happy to get back with you. And you can reach out to him. He'll tell you all about more of his one-on-one coachings, any conferences, seminars, or anything like that, or any new programs that he has coming up to help you help yourself be the best
Mhm.
version of yourself. And also, don't forget, you can check him out on this platform as well. He is on Instagram. So, those of you that are on Instagram, go ahead and check him out on Instagram. If you're not on Instagram, go ahead and get on Instagram and check him out. Okay. Make sure you check him out. But, like he said, Facebook is one of the best ways to reach him, and you can reach him. He will contact you back. He will accept your friend request and get right with you. Okay. So, with that being said, I just want to thank you so much for being here. I want to thank everybody that's been on the podcast tonight. You've been phenomenal. And if you want to reach out to him and you want him on your show, don't hesitate to reach out to him and he will help you make magic. All right. Thank you so much. So please remember to love and give love. And Rodrigo, I'm gonna let you have what would be your last word if you wanted to say something to somebody? What would be your last word for the night?
Thank you, Lotus. Thank you for having me on the program and for our beautiful audience. Everything you need is inside of you. You got it. You got this. Love. Love yourself. Unconditional love.
All right, fantastic. Thank you, folks. I hope you love the music. Check out Funky Jazz by Dr. Love Sax. I don't own the rights to this music, but guess what? I want to give you this music to help you help yourself be the best version of yourself that you could possibly be. Until we meet again, hang in tight, be right, ignite, and take flight. Mwah! We love you.